Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and today I'm going to be talking about 6 audiobooks that you must listen to. Now, I recently discovered the whole world of audiobooks. Like before this, I used to find it quite hard to listen and keep up with audiobooks. But this year, I've kind of realized that it really depends on the type of audiobook that you listen to. Like the narrator has to be captivating, the way the audiobook is produced has to be like spot on, and only then can it be like really fun to listen to audiobooks. The books which are here on my list today are books that I feel are elevated because of the audiobook experience. Like the book itself is great, but the audiobook just makes the entire reading experience next level. So yeah, that is why they are on this list. So yeah, let's just get started. The first book on my list is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This book basically follows our main character, Xiomara Batista, who is a teenage girl living in New York. She is Dominican American, she is curvy, she is feisty, she is energetic, she's curious, she's angry, and basically she's just going through puberty. The book basically follows Xiomara as she discovers her sexuality, she discovers her body, she discovers like relationships with boys, she discovers her relationship with her mother, her relationship with religion, and just everything about her life. It's basically like this beautiful coming to age story of this vivacious young teenage girl. But this entire book is written in the form of poems. And what makes the audiobook version of this book just so amazing is that the author herself, Elizabeth Acevedo, has recited these poems. And the way she recites these poems with so much emotion and so much angst when Xiomara is angsty, so much pain when Xiomara is hurt, so much happiness when Xiomara is like happy. The way she has recited these poems is so powerful, it's so raw, and it really did give me goosebumps when I was listening to it. The next book is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, this book is basically the story of a fictional rock and roll band in the 1970s in the US. The story follows how this band basically came together, how they created a record-breaking, amazing album, and also the reason why they kind of split up. Now, the way the story is told is through the form of interviews. So you have an interviewer who is interviewing like the band members, but the other people who are also getting interviewed are people who are associated with these band members. So like their managers, record company people, or even like people who are associated with the personal life of these band members. So what makes the audiobook amazing is that each and every character in this like book has their own voice actor. So basically this is like a full cast audiobook. And because of this, and because it's told in the form of interviews, when you listen to the audiobook, it really feels like you're listening to a documentary of this band. And it seriously feels like you're imagining some kind of movie. It is just so amazing. Like it really brings the entire thing to life. And just listening to the different voice actors, because the voice actors are also amazing. Like each and every character is voiced so perfectly, and it just helps bring them to life, and it really does feel like you're watching a movie, and it just makes everything seem a lot more real, even though you're talking about a fictional band. The next book is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Now, this book is about a teenage girl named Frances Janvier. Now, Frances is very bookish. She gets the best grades in her class. She is extremely studious, and she wants to go to Cambridge. Like that is her main aim in life. Now, Frances also is completely obsessed with an internet podcast named Universe City. So when one day Frances meets the actual creator of this podcast, her slightly boring life becomes a little bit exciting. Now, this book is basically the story of friendship and love, and it has such a diverse cast of characters, especially when it comes to sexualities. Like, there are so many different types of sexualities and different types of relationships that are portrayed in this book that it was just so refreshing to read. Also, what makes the audiobook really amazing is that because the internet podcast Universe City is such an integral part of the story. The audiobook actually has excerpts of this podcast. So in the actual, like, the physical book, you would just be reading the excerpts of the podcast, but in the audiobook you actually get to listen to those excerpts, and I feel like it just makes the reading experience so much better. The next book that I want to talk about is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. Now, this book is basically the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. Now, I'll just give a little bit of a gist of what Handmaid's Tale is about. Handmaid's Tale is basically a dystopian fiction book that is set in a dystopian world named Gilead. Now, in Gilead, women are oppressed. Like, women are not allowed to read, women are not allowed to hold jobs, and there is a certain class of women called handmaids who are assigned to like a husband and wife couple, and they are forced to bear children for that couple. So The Handmaid's Tale ends at a kind of like a cliffhanger, and The Testaments kind of follows up, not exactly follows up from the cliffhanger, but it gives you, like, it tells you what happens in the world of Gilead after The Handmaid's Tale, the events of The Handmaid's Tale have transpired. Now, what is really cool about the audiobook of The Testaments is that, again, it is a full cast audiobook. So there are three main characters in this book, and you basically you hear the story of Gilead through the perspective of these three characters. So all these three characters have their own voice actors, and that's why I just feel it's so much more intriguing to listen to. The really cool thing is, if you watched the TV show of The Handmaid's Tale, the actress who plays Aunt Lydia, who is a main character in The Handmaid's Tale, the actress who plays Aunt Lydia in the TV show also voices the character of Aunt Lydia in this book. So it was just like such a cool TV moment in that sense, because I'm so used to listening to her voice as Aunt Lydia in the TV show. So to hear her voice as Aunt Lydia in the book also was like an added treat. And honestly, the actress Anne Dowd is a phenomenal actress. She's so good. So just to hear her voice was just amazing, and I really enjoyed the book because of that. The next book that I want to talk about is Becoming by Michelle Obama. Now, this is basically Michelle Obama's autobiography. It talks about her entire life from when she's a kid to growing up, studying in university, getting her first job, until the time she becomes First Lady of the United States of America. The story itself, like Michelle Obama's story, is just so inspiring. So even if you would have read the book, I feel like you would have had a great reading experience, because she is just such a phenomenal woman, and her story is so captivating and so inspiring. But what makes the audiobook fantastic, and just next level, is that the audiobook is narrated by Michelle Obama herself. So it really feels like Michelle Obama is just talking to you and telling you her own story. To listen to Michelle Obama talk about her struggles, her vulnerabilities, the things that she experienced, and to listen to it in her own voice was a powerful experience, and just so inspiring. So yeah, I highly recommend that if you're going to read Becoming, read it in the audiobook version, because I feel that experience is just so much better. And the last one that I want to talk about is Evil Eye by Madhuri Shekhar. Now, this is an Audible exclusive, which means it is only available on audible.com, and it is phenomenal. Like, this audiobook is only about an hour and a half long, but it is just so captivating. What this audiobook is about is basically like the relationship between a mother and daughter. So you have an Indian mother who lives in India, who is really wanting her daughter to get married. So she's like trying to send her a lot of rishtas, like she's just like forcing her to get married, and she's just like, why aren't you getting married, why aren't you liking anyone, and like forcing the arranged marriage process on her. Her daughter lives in the US, and she's just like sick and tired of her mother forcing her to get married. But along the way, the daughter actually meets this guy, and she falls in love with him, and they start dating. But for some reason, the mother is like a little bit wary of this guy. Like, she's just like, something seems off. And from there, the book just takes such a bizarre turn. The plot twist is just so crazy about like what happens. I mean, like, I don't want to give too much away, but it's just so bizarre and so crazy and so captivating that like I could not stop listening to this book. It was seriously 1.5 hours of pure entertainment and just so gripping. And man, that plot twist is just intense and crazy and just amazing. So yeah, it was a really cool reading experience. So yeah, these are 6 audiobooks that I highly recommend to you guys. They really elevate the reading experience, so I highly recommend them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know which are some of your favorite audiobooks. And of course, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.